Okay, today we're building our tomato frames. We're going to use this ladder as a bit of a template, something that's about this high, it's about 1.5 metres, and make it balanced, about 80 centimetres across the bottom here. We want something that's not too high if the tomatoes go up, not too deep, that you can still reach in and grab the tomatoes in the middle. Something like that will work. Okay, let's toss this ladder away. The way I build these, so you don't have to use a plan, is it's all done with those measurements drawn out on the floor. So you draw yourself up a box on the shed floor, pretty much where I build everything in the shed, and just mark out that box, 1.5 metres by 80 centimetres. Get it all drawn up on the floor. Then you can lay the boards through the floor. Here's a bit of a trick to get it all nice and square. Use the set square in the corner. But if you get your box drawn up correctly in the first place, then you don't have to worry. Just makes it so much easier. I mean, we're not building the Leaning Tower of Pisa or something here. It's not architecturally perfect. What we want is something that's going to hold together through the wet season, hold the tomatoes up and be used year after year. I'll just get all this lined up here. Makes it all easy to do. Here's where having your rectangle really pays off. When people are building things like, pyramids and things that have angles in it, it gets really hard to work out at what angle you cut what piece of wood when. So what makes it really easy is if you just lay it out, and then where it crosses a line, you draw across your piece of wood and you cut it at that angle. And that tends to make everything sit up the right way and sort of touch the ground in the right places, and everything can be screwed together really easily if you get these cuts in the right place. So you'll see here how I cross the edges. It's a pretty easy process from then on as to getting your angles right to get this thing to fit together. So here we go, it's pretty simple. Line the old set square up along the line, cut each leg. Hello, cat seemed to give me a bit of help, Robbo the cat. Then when it crosses the top, simply mark that off. Yep, Robbo's come to inspect this one. What do you think, Robbo? Yep, oh, I headbutt my kneecap. Yep, yeah, it looks all right. Get on with the job, stop mucking around. That's the cat for you. Okay, so milk crates, love them. Find them out of the back of shops every now and then. The old style crates, they're great. You can use them to cut everything on, lean on them, and if you cut halfway through the crate while you're cutting, just go and get another one. We're not building anything exact here, so let's get this about right. Chop our legs off either end. You can go pretty quick through this process. I'm about occupational health and safety if I'm doing this right. Apologise if I'm not. Probably I'm a bit more confident than others, because I've been doing this a while. Well, not really a while, I've been doing this 2 years. City boy come farmer. Yeah, not exactly that good, but anyway. Chop these off. I probably could have skipped this part, couldn't I? Because everyone understands pretty much what I'm doing. But let's get it chopped up. Now we're going to end up making two sides, so you're going to do this. Twice. Anyway, what's done is done, and let's lay it out on our angle here. See how close we got this. to be exact. Put everything back where it was, crossing the lines. Let's see if we've got our angles right. Perfect, look at that, I got something right. Can't cut on the line, but here we go, away we go. Okay, now for the face plates, or whatever you might call them, face plates is good enough. Back to our whole solution of having it all drawn out on the floor and fitting it together in our little rectangle. So I got another piece of wood, I got a bit of leftover wood I had from doing a bit of concrete moulding. And again, trace around it, start cutting it out. Work boots. You can never skimp on a good pair of work boots. Not that I've ever sawn one in half, but work boots I wear all the time. You've got to have comfortable footwear, you've got to have protective footwear. Mind you, in 2 years I've probably worn about, I think I'm up to pair number 5 now, because they get wet of a morning in the morning dew. You often work in rain if you're in wet weather. But good to have a good pair of work boots. Anyway, back to our, the sawing of our face plate here. So once again, you've mastered the angles simply by laying it out on the floor. Leftovers, they'll go in the fireplace. Here we go. So once again, you lay it out, still all nice and neat. Check those ends. Yep, they're still in the corners of the rectangle. Now we've got the face plate on. Simply matter of getting a couple of screws. Yep, right length. Screw it in together here. All perfect. That bit's done. Now, next step is to get some bracing across the legs, because you don't want the legs obviously spraying apart and the whole thing collapsing down the middle. No great science to this. Mathematician would probably divide it by 3 and get them all exactly equal. Well, I kind of make it up as I go along, which is what you should do, as long as you get the same distance up each leg on either side. Then again, back to our getting the angles right. All you simply got to do is put a board across them. Doesn't have to be the same size, could be any size. But you want a couple of spacings because you've got to be able to tie the tomatoes up as they grow over time. So probably about 2 legs is enough. Again, get the old set square out, just draw up the line. Don't worry about trying to work your angles out because they're already worked out for you as long as you keep everything in the middle of the square. Then just screw them all in on either side and you've got it ready to go. Of course, once it's all locked down, the proof of the pudding is standing it up. See if it wobbles, see if it falls apart. And as you can see, here we go. Doesn't seem to wobble, doesn't seem to fall down too much. Plenty of room, tomatoes can grow up and down, you can fit them in. It's great. Now just to build the other side. So logically, if you've done it once, you can do it twice. It's always good to lay the one that you've already done next to the one you're actually making. Whip it up, same method. Then stand them up together. The proof of the pudding, so to speak. Make sure they're the same. Doesn't matter if they're not really, but it's no matter if they're the same. Seems to go all right. Now it's just about getting them together. So go back to your rectangle on the floor, stand them up again, how they would look in the rectangle. Start to get all those angles right. Measure out your wood to go across each piece. Logically, if you're going to make a square and all 4 sides are then the same length, you can actually get them at the same angle by just copying what you already have done. Chop them off, drill them on, back using your rectangle. Get those sides all drilled up. Stand them up, and if it falls over you did wrong, if it stands up you did right. Look at that, lovely, bloody lovely. Nice and solid. Now all you need is a bit of the top instead of my hand. What I've used is a bit of tin, and you can screw it on quite easily. It doesn't need to look real tidy, it just keeps a bit of the rain off the top, and particularly in my climate. It's just a bit of a post cap. You could use any old bit of a tin cut out of the side of a bread tin if you wanted. So then done. What do you think, Bobby? Bobby, what do you think? Yeah, we'll put this tomato in here, go and plant it in the garden. Good work, well done. Good dog. Job done.